Bonjour et bienvenue dans le cours de français. Hello everyone and welcome to the French class. The topic for today's session is l'impératif. So we would be doing the imperative form of the verbs. What is the imperative form? Where is it used? How it is used? What is the formation? All these things we will be learning in today's session. So for those of you who are joining me for the first time, I am Anika Seth and I am an educator on Unacademy for French CBSE grade 9 and 10. So, as you know that in the plus courses, the live classes are already on for the batches for all subjects. So, if you still haven't registered for the plus course, I highly recommend you that you go to the Unacademy Learning app and register yourself, subscribe to the Unacademy Plus courses because over there you would be able to attend the live classes for all subjects according to the proper time schedule. You will be able to get exhaustive study material, elaborate study material. There are doubt clearing sessions, regular quiz, test series, and also complete coverage of the syllabus. So once you are registered for the plus courses, you would be able to attend all the live classes and get maximum benefit out of it to score well in your exams. Now, starting with today's topic, that is l'impératif, formation of the imperative tense, usage of the imperative tense, all those things we would be doing over here in today's session. So let's get started. Before that, just you can see my referral code below on the screen, that is ANIKALIVE. This code you can use as the referral code when you are subscribing, when you are taking the subscription for the Unacademy Plus class to get the benefits. Now, l'impératif, what exactly is the imperative form of the verbs, how it is used, and in which all conditions do we use the imperative form of the verb. So, first of all, the imperative is a manner which is used to give orders, instructions, suggestions, commands, etc. So, the imperative form of the verb is used while we are giving an order to someone, while we are suggesting something to someone, or while we are giving instructions or commands. So, for example, I say, open your book, do not talk, close the door, sit down. All of these are the instructions which I am giving to, for example, in a class. If I'm saying, open your book, do not talk, sit down. So, all these are the instructions. Now, over here, the thing which we have to note over here that when we are giving instructions, we are not using the subject pronoun. For example, I'm not saying over here, you open your book or you do not talk unless I'm talking to one particular person. So it is a general instruction, it's a general command for the entire class. So it's a general instruction. That is why we do not use the subject pronoun while giving an instruction or suggestion or order. Also, as you can see this exclamation mark which is placed at the end. So, exclamation mark also has to be placed because it is not a statement. It is an instruction, an order. So, it has to be, the exclamation mark has to be placed at the end. Now, another thing is that the imperative has three forms which are tu, nu and vu, for which the verbs need to be conjugated in the present tense. Now, why only imperative exists in these three tenses? Because in these three subject pronouns. Because je, the subject pronoun, it means I, me. So I cannot give an instruction to myself. That is why with je, it is not possible to uh, conjugate the verb in the imperative form because I cannot give an instruction to myself. Then next subject pronoun is tu. Tu means you. So tu is second person singular. If I am talking to you, of course I can give you an instruction. So with tu, the subject pronoun tu, the imperative exists. Then is the il singular form. Il means a third person. Il means that we are talking about a third person. So we cannot give an instruction to the third person. I can give it to you, that is, you are the second person, but I cannot give an instruction to the third person. So, for the ell form, imperative is not possible. Then we come to the nu form, the nu subject pronoun. When we form the verb with nu as the subject pronoun, so it uh, gives the meaning of, for example, if I am saying, let's go for a movie, or if I'm saying, let's go for shopping. So over here, the literal translation of the imperative form with no subject pronoun will be like, let's do this, and I'm giving an advice, a suggestion to everyone, including myself, that let's do this, or let's go for a movie, let's go for shopping, etc. So with the no form, also imperative exists. Then we come to woo, the next subject pronoun, woo. Woo is second person, singular in the formal way, and plural in the formal or informal way. So with woo also we can put the verb in the imperative tense, because even if it is second person, singular, formal way, I can still, I am directly talking to someone, I can give an instruction. If it is second person plural, that means there is more than one person in the conversation and I am giving an instruction to everyone. So again, in the woo form, the tense can exist. The imperative manner can exist. So what we are saying over here, that the imperative has only three forms, that is tu, nu and woo. With je, il, or il plural, it does not exist, because neither can I give an instruction to myself nor can I give an instruction to a third person. So the imperative will only be possible in case of tu, nu and woo form, right? Then next thing, the imperative is used without the subject pronouns. Imperative is used without the subject pronouns. Without subject pronouns, like I already explained, when I am giving an instruction that open the book or do not talk, I am not talking to one particular person. This is an instruction in general for the entire class. Or for example, you read an instruction somewhere, do not smoke. It is not particularly for one person that you do not smoke. It is a general instruction for everyone. So that is why the imperative form is independent of the subject pronoun. That is, we do not place the subject pronoun with the imperative form of the verb, because the instruction, the command, the suggestion is not directed to only one person. It is a general instruction for everyone. So the imperative form is used without the subject pronouns. Next point is that an exclamation mark is used at the end of the sentence instead of a full stop. So the same thing which I just said, that since it is not a statement, it is not a statement, so we need to use an exclamation mark at the end and not a full stop, right? We will not put a full stop at the end, we use an exclamation mark. So first thing is that the imperative is independent of the subject pronouns. We do not use the subject pronoun with this. Second thing is that exclamation mark is to be used at the end of the sentence instead of the full stop. Then third thing over here, with ER verbs in the tu form, S is dropped in the imperative. What does that mean? That in case of ER verbs, we know that in the tu form with the subject pronoun tu, the verb ends with S, because the ending of ER verbs with tu is ES. But when we are making this verb in the imperative, we remove that S from the conjugation of the verb. So in case of ER verbs, like if it is parler, aimer, habiter, détester, manger, we do not put the S with tu in case of imperative. right? So what we have discussed till now, the rules of the imperative. First thing is the meaning of the imperative tense, that it is a manner which is used to give orders, instructions, commands, or suggestions. This is the meaning of the imperative form. Next, which I gave you the example, like open your book, do not talk, sit down, come here, all these kinds of instructions. After that, the imperative exists in three forms, that is with the subject pronoun tu, subject pronoun nu, subject pronoun vu. So the imperative has three forms, that is tu, nu, and vu, with which the verbs are conjugated in the present tense, right? And why does it exist only in three forms? Because with je, I cannot place the imperative because je means I. I cannot give an instruction to myself. With you, I can give an instruction to you because you is second person. So if I'm talking to you, I can give you a suggestion, I can give you an instruction. With il singular form as well as plural form, il is a third person subject pronoun. So third person means I'm talking about someone else. So I cannot give an instruction to someone unless I am directly talking to that person. So if I'm talking directly, it would become the second person. So that means with il singular, il plural, it is not possible. After that, with the nu form, yes, I can give the instruction because, like I said, it can be translated as let's go for shopping, let's watch a movie, let's do our work, like this. Then with vu also, the imperative can be formed because Wu is again second person. Now, be it singular, formal, or be it plural, informal or formal, that does not make a difference because the imperative can exist in the singular as well as plural form. So, that makes it three subject pronouns which are used for the imperative form of the verbs, that is tu, nu, and vu. After that, the next rule is that the imperative is used without the subject pronoun. Without the subject pronoun means it is independent. It does not contain the subject pronoun with the conjugation of the verb. So, when you are giving an instruction, even though if it is directed to only one person, that is, you are using the tu form, it is directed to only one person or even who, but we do not place the subject pronoun with the verb. It is just the conjugation of the verb that is used in the imperative form. Next is that an exclamation mark is used at the end of the sentence instead of a full stop. So, in a normal statement, if it is a statement, we put a full stop. This imperative is not a statement, it is an instruction, it is an order. So, for that, we put an exclamation mark at the end of the sentence instead of a full stop. And the last rule that we studied just now is that with ER verbs, in case of ER verbs, in the tu form, S is dropped in the imperative form. So with ER verbs, tu form, because the conjugation of ER verbs ends with ES with tu, the S is dropped from that conjugation to make it in the imperative form. So see the example over here. Ferme la porte. Now from the conjugation of the verb, we can make out that this instruction is being given to one person because the verb which is conjugated here, ferme, is with tu form. S has been removed from the verb. If it was with nu, it would have been fermo. If it was with vu, it would have been fermi. So since the conjugation of the verb is singular, that is with tu without the s, we know this instruction is being given to one person. So we have put the verb ferm. We have not used the subject pronoun over here. There is no tu in the sentence. After The completion ferme la porte, we have placed an exclamation mark. So all the rules, all the conditions, whatever we have just now gone through, those are kept in mind while we are conjugating the verb and we are forming the sentence in the imperative form. First is do not place the subject pronoun. Second, drop the S with ER verbs in the to form. Thirdly, put the exclamation mark at the end of the sentence, not a full stop. So all these conditions are satisfied over here. Ferme la porte is an instruction being given that close the door. Okay. Now let's look at an example. Over here, parler. So first over here, we conjugate parler in the present tense with tu, nu, and vous. Okay, we conjugate parler in the present tense with tu, nu, and vous. So with tu, the conjugation of the verb is parle. Present tense conjugation ER verb is parle, P-A-R-L-E-S. With nu, it is parlons. And with vous, it is parler. Parle, parlons, parler with the subject pronoun because this is just that we are conjugating the verb in the present tense. Tu parles, nous parlons, vous parlez. Now, when we have to form the imperative of this verb, see over here, first thing is we are removing the subject pronoun. There is no tu over here. Second thing, this S is being removed. The S which is there in the conjugation is being removed and this is just P-A-R-L-E, parle. After that, we put an exclamation mark. So, tu parle becomes simply parle without the subject pronoun, without the S, with an exclamation mark. Right? So, when you are conjugating the verb, subject pronoun is removed, S is removed, exclamation mark is added. Then with nous parlons is the conjugation. Again, remove the subject pronoun nous. The conjugation will remain the same, parlons. So we do not have to remove S over here. S is only removed in the tu form. So this one, parlons, exclamation mark to be added. Nous will be removed, parlons as the conjugation of the verb and with an exclamation mark. So parle, parlons. And the third one, vous parlez is the present tense conjugation. Remove vous, keep parler as it is, add an exclamation mark. So the imperative of verb parler becomes parle, parlons, parler. We have not used the subject pronoun over here. We have removed the S with the tu form. We have added an exclamation mark to the conjugation of the verb. So the imperative form, the steps to change the word, to conjugate the verb in the imperative. First, take the present tense of the verb with all the subject pronouns, tu, nu, and vous. Remove the tu, remove the subject pronoun tu, remove the s in case of er verbs from the conjugation, add an exclamation mark. So, tu parle becomes simply parle without tu, without s, but with an exclamation mark. Then, nous parlons is the present tense conjugation. Remove nous, only write parlons, add an exclamation mark. Vous parlez, present tense conjugation, vous parlez. Remove vous, only put parler, followed by exclamation mark. So this conjugation of verb parler in the imperative, parle, parlons, parler. Right? So let's look at some other verbs as well. Here is first one is verb marcher. So one is er verb, ir verb, re verb. So with all the verbs, let's see. First is verb marcher. So we are conjugating only in three forms, that is tu, nu, and vous, because we know that in other forms the imperative cannot exist. So we will take the three forms, that is tu, nu, and vous. So with tu, when we conjugate the verb marcher, the conjugation in the present tense ends with es. When you remove er from marcher, you add the endings, that is es. This one becomes marche with s. Tu marches with s. But now for the imperative form, we have to remove that s and simply write this marche over here without the subject pronoun. So, tu is removed from the conjugation, s is also removed from the conjugation, and an exclamation mark is added. So, marche, walk. So, we can to complete this, we can say walk fast or walk slow. So, marche vite, walk fast. So, this one, tu is not there, s is not there, exclamation mark is put with the verb. Then is marchons. Marchons. Nous marchons is the verb, the present tense conjugation, nous marchons. Remove nous, add ons. This becomes marchons, the conjugation without the subject pronoun and with an exclamation mark. So nous marchons becomes marchons. Then is vous marchez. Vous is removed. Only the conjugation of the verb marcher is ending with ez followed by an exclamation mark. So marche, marchons, marcher. That's the imperative form of the verb marcher over here. Next we move to an IR verb, which is finir. So finir as an IR verb, tu form, the conjugation of the verb is fini, F-I-N-I-S. Over here, do not remove the S because S is only removed. That rule is only applicable to ER verbs, not to IR, RE, any other verb, only to ER verbs. So here with you, the conjugation of the verb fini will come as it is, F-I-N-I-S with an exclamation mark. Then with nous, it is finissons. Remove the nous, put the exclamation mark, finissons. And vous finissez, remove vous, put an exclamation mark, it becomes finissez simply. So fini, finissons, finissez. Over here the meaning, finish, for example, fini ton travail, fini le travail. So over here, finish your work. Finissons le travail, let's finish the work. Finissez le travail, again finish the work. Now it can be an instruction in the singular form, like formal way singular, or plural, informal or formal. So finissez, fini, finissons, finissez. Next one is attendre, which is an RE verb. So attendre as an RE verb, conjugation with tu is attend, A-T-T-E-N-D-S, attend. S will not be removed because this is also not an ER verb, this is an RE verb. So the rule of removing S is only applicable to ER verbs. So attend, exclamation mark. Attendons is the conjugation with nous. Attendez is the conjugation with vous. So attend, attendons, attendez. Okay. So here first one, the ER verb, marcher. Imperative, marche, marchons, marcher. Walk, let's walk, walk. Finir, fini, finissons, finissez. Finish, let's finish, finish. Attendre, attend, attendons, attendez. So wait, let's wait, and wait. Then next there are few examples over here. First is mange des légumes. First one is mange des légumes, means eat some vegetables. So manger verb over here, singular with the tu subject pronoun, but s is removed. So it is, first of all, there is no subject pronoun. It's not tu mange des légumes. It is simply mange des légumes. Secondly, with verb manger, S is also removed since it is an ER verb. So it's a GER verb, but that is in the category of ER verbs only. So S is removed. They legume, after this exclamation mark is added. So mange, they legume. Mange, they legume would be the imperative form of the verb manger. There is no tu, there is no subject pronoun, there is no S, but there is an exclamation mark. Then second example, lisons le texte. Lisons le texte means let's read the text. Lisons le texte means let's read the text. So over here, lisons, this is the picture which you can see of a class of the students and the teachers. So let's read the text. Lisons is conjugated with the nu form ending with ons followed by exclamation mark, and there is no subject pronoun in the sentence. Then third one, venez au tableau, come to the board. Venez au tableau, come to the board. So verb venir conjugated with vous ending with ez and an exclamation mark at the end. So venez au tableau. First one, manger, is conjugated with tu, but s is removed. Mange des légumes. Second one, lisons le texte, is conjugated with nous. Again, subject pronoun is not there. Exclamation mark is there. And third one, venez au tableau, conjugated with vous. Vous is not there. Exclamation mark is there. So these things you always have to keep in mind while we are putting the verbs in the imperative form. That is what is to be included, what is to be excluded. That the subject pronouns will nowhere come in the conjugation of the verb over here in the imperative form. Then the exclamation mark has to be added, and with tu form s has to be removed. Next are the irregular verbs, that is avoir, être, savoir, vouloir. These are the irregular verbs. So because with these verbs, it does not follow the same pattern what we have just now discussed, that you conjugate the verb in the present tense and then remove the subject pronoun, that's it. Over here, the conjugation of the verb in the imperative is completely different from the regular present tense conjugation. So first of all, this one, verb avoir. With verb avoir, the conjugation of the verb is a, this one a, ayant, ayez. With tu, conjugation of the verb is a, nous ayons, vous is ayez. So we are not including the subject pronouns. We have put the exclamation mark, but the conjugation of the verb is not the same as the present tense conjugation. So this is a, ayant, ayez. Then next is verb être. Soit, soyons, soyez. Soit, soyons, soyez. So again over here, this is not a, som and et, because the regular present tense conjugation of verb être, it is tu es, nous sommes, vous êtes, but that is not what is the imperative form of the verb. The imperative form is completely different, which is soit, soyons, soyez. Next is verb savoir. So over here, sache, sachons, sachez. Sache, sachons, sachez. And last one is verb vouloir. Veuille, veuillons, veuillez. Veuille, veuillons, veuillez. Okay. So verb avoir, ayez, ayons, ayez. Être, soit, soyons, soyez. Savoir, sache, sachons, sachez. Vouloir, veuille, veuillons, veuillez. So all of these are the irregular verbs that do not follow the pattern of the imperative that we have just discussed. Right? Next is the imperative o negative, the imperative tense in the negative form. So the imperative tense in the when we need to change this to the negative form, what is the structure of the sentence? The structure of the sentence remains the same as we have done the negation with the regular sentences. That is, we place na before the verb and we place pa after the verb. So this becomes na plus verb plus pa. There are three parts: na plus verb plus pa. So together this makes the negative form of the imperative. So just in the same way, like we add na and pa before and after the verb in a regular sentence also. So here in the imperative also, we add na and pa before and after the verb. So a verb like manger, when it is conjugated in the imperative form, so this is mange, mangeons, manger. Now to change this to negative, put na before the verb, put pa after the verb. This becomes ne mange pas. Then next one, ne mangeons pas. And third one, ne mangez pas. Right? So with each subject, with each conjugation of the verb, mange, mangeons, manger, ne is put before the verb, pa is put after the verb. Ne mange pas, ne mangeons pas, ne mangez pas. Then look at the second verb also, parle. Ne parle pas, ne parlons pas, ne parlez pas. Ne is placed before the verb, pa is placed after the verb. So ne parle pas, ne parlons pas, ne parlez pas. So don't speak, don't eat, and so on. After this, we come to the pronominal verbs, the imperative of the pronominal verbs. So what happens in case of the pronominal verbs, how the verbs are formed in the imperative, that is what we are doing over here. That for pronominal verbs, the subject pronoun is dropped and the object pronoun is placed after the verb attached with a hyphen. The becomes tua in this situation. So what does all this mean? That we are aware that the pronominal verbs also contain an object pronoun, like the verbs se lever, se réveiller, se promener, s'habiller. All these are accompanied with an object pronoun also. Now, same way, the subject pronoun is dropped from the sentence, from the verb, but the object pronoun is used in the conjugation of the verb. How? So see over here. First is tu, te, lev. This is the regular present tense conjugation of the verb se lever. That is tu, te, lev. Normal present tense conjugation of verb se lever. Tu, te, lev. Then when we change this to the imperative, this tu is removed. The left, this the left, the becomes tua in this situation, which comes after the verb. So this is left tua, hyphen in between, followed by an exclamation mark. Right? Left tua, hyphen in between, the becomes tua, and exclamation mark at the end. Negative form of this verb will be the same now, that the will again be placed before the verb only. So this is na the left pa. Only in the positive, in the affirmative form, we are putting the after the verb as tua. No also will come after the verb, wo also will come after the verb, followed by an exclamation mark. So over here, this object pronoun comes after the verb. But in the negative form, again, it is the same sentence structure, that is na plus verb plus pa. So object pronoun is still preceded by the verb. Same way, another example, tu te couches, present tense conjugation, tu te couches. This becomes couche toi because te goes after the verb in the form of toi, couche toi, and exclamation mark. But when it is in the negative form, this becomes ne te couche pas. So same sentence structure, ne plus verb plus pas. So let's see two more examples over here. Se réveiller et se promener. So if it is se réveiller, the present tense conjugation, tu te réveilles, te will come after the verb and becomes réveille. Toi, S is removed from here again because it's an ER verb. So réveille toi. Negative form, ne te réveille pas. Then here it is réveillons-nous. Ne nous réveillons pas. Réveillez-vous. Ne vous réveillez pas. So toi after the verb, because this has changed from te to toi. No after the verb, vous after the verb. So in all the imperative form of the pronominal verbs, your object pronoun comes in front of the verb. But when we are changing to negative, this will go back to its original place and become ne te réveille pas, ne nous réveillons pas, ne vous réveillez pas. Okay. Then this is se promener. So promène-toi, ne te promène pas, promenons-nous, ne nous promenons pas, promenez-vous, ne vous promenez pas. So again, same rule. Object pronoun is coming after the verb in case of affirmative. Promène-toi, promenons-nous, promenez-vous. But in the negative, it goes back to its original place, that is before the verb. So ne te promène pas, ne nous promenons pas, ne vous promenez pas. Right? Okay. After this, let's do a few questions over here. This one is verb parler. In the imperative has to be conjugated with, you need to see which of these forms is correct. Parle, A-L, parle, A-L, all are similar, but of course only one answer is correct. So over here, parle, A-L, we can see that S is there in the verb, and since parler is an ER verb, S will not be there. Second one, okay, it seems to be right. Let's check the other options also. Parle, A-L, there is no exclamation mark, so this is wrong. Parler, A-L, so this one also. So your choice is parle, A-L, parler, A-L. These two are correct in this sentence. Then is finir ton exercice. So here the options are fini, ton exercice, first one. So F-I-N-I is not a conjugation of the verb over here, because F-I-N-I is not a conjugation of the IR verb finir. So this one is incorrect. Finiton exercise, this is ending with T. So T is the conjugation, ending with T is the conjugation of ill singular form. But the imperative is not possible in the ill singular form. Next is finiton exercise. Over here, this seems to be correct. And last one, finir ton exercise. So finir is the infinitive form of the verb which cannot be placed over here. So that means the correct answer over here is this one. Fini ton exercise. This one. Then next, attendre. Attendre la. Attendre la. So first is attendez la. Attendre la. Attendez. Attendez. So like all the options are similar. So in the last one, if we see, there is no exclamation mark. In this one, this is the wrong spelling. In this one, there is no S. So S is not to be removed in case of RE verbs. It has to be there. So here the correct answer is attendez la, the first one. First one is the correct answer. Next is se dépêcher. Se dépêcher as the pronominal verb is given over here. So the conjugation dépêche, te dépêche, se dépêche, dépêche-toi. So the pronominal verbs rules we have just now done. First option is completely wrong because it does not contain the object pronoun at all. And in case of pronominal verbs, object pronoun has to be there. Then next is the depeche. So what we have done that this object pronoun the will not be placed before the verb in case of the imperative. So this is also incorrect. Se depeche, object pronoun se is with illal singular, illal plural with which the imperative is not possible. So we are left with depeche tua. That is the correct answer because the goes after the verb and becomes tua attached with a hyphen. So depeche tua is the correct answer, the last one. Next is payer l'addition. So first is pay, payer, payer, pay. Which one of these is correct? Pay l'addition, y is not to be included in the verb. Payer l'addition, correct. Over here, this conjugation is wrong. And so, we will not put I over here, there is y. So, pay l'addition, payer l'addition. Then it is prendre le tram. First one is prendre. Next is prend. Third one is prene. And fourth one is pren. So which is the correct answer over here? Let's see. First one is prendre. So prendre is not the conjugation of the present tense verb prendre because prendre is an exception to the DRE verbs. It does not contain D. So this is incorrect. Second one, prend le train with verb prendre. If we are, this one is ending with PREND, that means it is the conjugation in the illal singular form with which the imperative is not possible. So we move to the third one, prenez le train. So yes, this is the conjugation with vous, prenez le train, correct. And last, pren le tram. So pren again is the conjugation with illal plural, not possible. So the correct answer is the third one, prenez le tram. Then is ne pas faire du vélo. Ne pas faire du vélo. So this is in the negative form, ne pas faire. See first one, ne fais pas de vélo, ne faites pas de vélo, ne pas fait de vélo, ne fais pas de vélo. So which one is correct over here? If you see the first one, ne fait pas, this FAIT is the conjugation with il singular form. Not possible. So, incorrect. Second one, ne faites pas. This conjugation is also incorrect because with vous, the ending with verb faire is es, not ez, because it is an irregular verb. Again, incorrect. Ne pas fait de vélo. Ne pas fait, the placement of ne and pas is incorrect. So, no, this is also wrong. And last one is ne fais pas de vélo. So yes, this is correct because FAIS conjugation with tu and ne and pas is correctly placed. So ne fais pas de vélo. Then is verb s'endormir. Again in the negative form. Ne pas. Ne t'endormis pas. Ne s'endormit pas. Te n'endormis pas. And n'endormis toi pas. So see over here which one is correct. This last option, endormi toi. This tua is placed after the verb, but what we did in the negation, the object pronoun comes back to its original place, that is before the subject, before the conjugated form of the verb. So this tua will not be placed over here. So this one, the non dormi pa, object pronoun always comes with the verb. So this no placement is wrong. Second option, ne s'endormit pas. S cannot be used because with il singular form we are not conjugating the verb. Ne t'endormis pas is the correct answer, which is the first one because ne plus verb and the verb object pronoun is placed before the verb. So ne t'endormis pas. Then is ne pas être triste. So first is ne pas triste, ne soyons pas triste, ne sommes pas triste, ne sois pas triste. So over here, which is the correct formation? Ne pas triste is incorrect because verb être is irregular. Ne soyons pas, ne sommes pas is sommes pas also incorrect. So ne sois pas triste, ne soyons pas triste will be the ne soyons pas triste. Then is se réveiller. Se réveiller. First is réveil, second is se réveil, and last one is réveillez-vous. So réveil, se réveil, et réveiller, vous, and vous réveillez. So out of these, first one is réveil. There is no object pronoun, so that means this is incorrect. Second is se réveil. Se cannot be used because it is not in the ill singular form. Réveillez-vous. Yes, it is correct because vous réveillez also the object pronoun needs to be placed after the verb. So this becomes réveillez-vous. Right? So this is how we have conjugated these verbs in the imperative form. Now let's look over here with a few more examples. Complétez avec les conjugaisons des verbes entre parenthèses en impératif. So first is Anne regardez cette jupe. Regardez cette jupe. Over here verb regarder needs to be put in the imperative form. So verb regarder, now how to decide whether in which form we are going to use the verb tu, nous or vous. So see over here, and the name is given. That means it is an informal situation. So we will use the tu form of the verb because this is singular and is a singular name. It is informal, you are addressing someone by name. So you will conjugate the verb regarder with the tu subject pronoun as regard, and s will be removed from the verb. So regard cette jupe. Look at this skirt. See this skirt. Next is maman attendre moi. Attendre is the verb. So maman, again in which form it will be conjugated? Tu, nous or vous. It will be conjugated in the tu form because mama, it is informal. With family members, it is informal. So attendre moi. Verb attendre conjugated in the tu form. ATTEND, will come in this one because it is an RE verb, not an ER verb. So attendre moi. Then attention tout le monde. Regardez is the verb. Moi. Attention tout le monde means you are talking to more than one person. So it should be in the plural form. It should be in the plural form, which means the subject pronoun has to be vous. So regardez-moi. Regardez-moi. Then is tu es triste. Téléphonez-moi. So téléphonez verb. Tu es triste, since the sentence is starting with tu, so we know that this has to continue in the informal way with tu only. So conjugate verb tu, present tense, conjugate verb telephone with tu in the present tense. That is telephone ending with es. Now since it is an er verb, remove the s and this just becomes telephone moi. Next is Jean-Paul travailler. So the name of the person is given. Tu form we will use travail, which ends with s in the present tense because travailler is an er verb. Remove s. The conjugation of the verb travaille without the s. Travail. Then last one, Travailler, again the verb travailler. Vous êtes en retard. Vous êtes en retard. So over here, the next subject pronoun which is given is vous. That means the first verb also has to be in the same subject pronoun. So travailler over here with vous. So ending with ez. Travailler ending with ez. travaillez. Travailler, vous êtes en retard. That work, you are late. Then seventh one, Claire, donnez-moi un chocolat. So donner again with tu because Claire the name is given, so it is informal. Donne-moi un chocolat. D-O-N-N-E because S will be removed from the conjugation of the ER verb with the tu form. So donne-moi un chocolat. Then attendez. Oh, okay, over here attendre because this is already conjugated. Attendre. Vous avez oublié les clés. So, vous avez oublié, the next part of the sentence is in subject pronoun vous. That means the first part also, the imperative also must be with the vous form. So, attendez, vous avez oublié les clés. Attendez, vous avez oublié les clés. Then next, maman, venir. Venir verb with tu, vient, V-I-E-N-S, vient, because the subject is singular. So, vient, V-I-E-N-S. Next one, maman, papa. Again, the verb is venir. So, over here, in the vous form, we will conjugate the verb and the imperative will be in the vous form. This is more than one person, so plural. Venez, V-E-N-E-Z, venez. So the difference between the ninth and the tenth sentence, in the ninth one, there is a single subject pronoun, there is a singular subject, the noun, and in the tenth one, it is plural. So venir, venir becomes vient and venez. Then parler français, in the bracket it is mentioned, we need to conjugate with vous. So parler, P-A-R-L-E-Z, parler français, speak French. Écoutez ce que je dis. Tu is the subject pronoun. So, écoute ce que je dis. Now, écoute ends with es, but over here, écouter is an er verb, so it will drop the s and just E-C-O-U-T-E. Écoute ce que je dis. Right? So, here are the answers for this one, what we have just discussed. And regards you because verb regarder is conjugated with the tu form. S is removed and this becomes regards you. That look at this skirt. Maman, attendre-moi. So attendre verb with tu form again ends with S. Since it is RE verb, there is no need to remove the S. Attention tout le monde. Regardez-moi. Regarder because tout le monde means you are talking to more than one person. So, verb has to be conjugated with the vous form. Regardez-moi. Then, tu es triste. Téléphonez-moi. Téléphone verb conjugated with tu only because the sentence begins with tu. So, same subject pronoun has to be followed. Téléphone-moi. Jean-Paul travaille. Singular. Verb travaille. S will be removed. Then here again, travailler verb, vous êtes en retard. So the continuation is in the vous form. That means the sentence also has to begin with the vous subject pronoun only. So conjugate the verb travailler with vous, which is travailler ending with ez. Then Claire, donne-moi un chocolat. Donner, er verb, remove s with tu form, D-O-N-N-E, donne-moi un chocolat. Then attendez, vous avez oublié les clés. Vous avez oublié, so the next half of the sentence is in vous form. First part will be also as conjugated with vu, which is attendez ending with ez. Then ninth, maman vient, singular subject, conjugated with tu. Maman, papa, venez, conjugated with vous because this is plural. Then parler, français with vous, parler ending with ez, français. Écoutez ce que je dis, écoute ce que je dis. So écouter verb, er verb with tu form, remove s. We are left with ECOUTE. Écoute ce que je dis. Right? Okay. So with this we have covered over here l'impératif. So first of all we started with the meaning of the imperative. Then what all, just for a quick summary. Let's go through these slides once. So the imperative, what is imperative? The manner in which the orders and instructions are given, the suggestions are given. And it has three forms of the imperative, that is tu, nu and vu, with which the verbs are conjugated in the present tense. Then the subject pronoun is not used in the imperative form. An exclamation mark is added at the end of the sentence instead of a full stop. Also with ER verbs, in tu form, S is dropped. It is removed from the conjugation of the verb. So these are the rules for changing the verbs in the imperative. That is, do not use the subject pronoun, use an exclamation mark, drop the S from the conjugation of ER verb with tu. So for example, parler is tu parles, nous parlons, vous parlez. But in the imperative form, first of all the subject pronouns are dropped. Secondly, with tu, S is also dropped. So this leaves us with parle, parlons, parler, and an exclamation mark at the end. Similarly, conjugations of the verb marcher, finir, attendre. Marche, marchons, marcher. Tu, nous, and vous form, we have conjugated the verb marche, marchons, marcher. Finir, IR verb, fini, finissons, finissez. S is not removed over here in fini because it is an IR verb. The rule of removing S only applies to ER verbs. Then attendre, RE verb, again S is not removed. So attend, attendons, attendez. Then is mange des légumes, first one. Verb is conjugated in the tu form. Eat some vegetables, mange des légumes, S is dropped. So conjugation of verb manger becomes mange, mange des légumes. Then is lisons le texte. So lisons, let's read the text. In the nous form it is conjugated. And last one, venez au tableau, come to the board in the vous form. Then we saw some irregular verbs over here, that is avoir, être, savoir, vouloir, which do not follow the same pattern of the present tense conjugation of the verb because these conjugations are different. Next was the negative form of the imperative, that is the sentence structure ne plus verb plus pas. So ne mange pas, ne mangeons pas, ne mangez pas, ne parle pas, ne parlons pas, ne parlez pas. With the imperative in the pronominal verbs, the object pronoun comes after the verb in the affirmative, but in the negative it goes back to the original place, that is before the verb. So tu te lèves becomes lève-toi and ne te lève pas. Tu te couches becomes couche-toi et ne te couche pas. Same way, this also imperative with the pronominal verbs. And then we did the questions. So over here, as we have completed the topic, the target was to learn the imperative form, the usage, the formation of the verbs, which we have done, and answered the questions over here. So as I said at the beginning of the class that those of you who have not yet subscribed for the Plus course, you go to the Unacademy Learning app and choose the subscription of your choice depending on the time period. You will be able to attend the live classes for all the subjects, and if you take the subscription for class 9, you get the access to live classes for 10th, 11th, 12th for free. So you are seeing my code over here, ANIKALIVE. You can use this referral code when you subscribe yourself to the Plus course to get the additional benefits what I've just told you. Also, there are live classes for the subjects, weekly quizzes, doubt solving sessions, practice questions, test series, exhaustive coverage of the syllabus, study material, and everything is there in the Plus course so that you are able to prepare yourself in a better way. Also, you get the Creative Corner free with this subscription. So, Creative Corner is like Vedic maths, doodling, public speaking, debate, and all these things in the Creative Corner, which is free till 22nd November only if you purchase the subscription. So, very useful, very beneficial for you to have the subscription for the Plus classes so that you are able to attend the live classes and you are able to prepare yourself in a much better way to achieve the desired results.